You drink water every day, but is it really helping your blood pressure? Most of us think staying hydrated is as simple as drinking enough water. But what if I told you that plain water, even lots of it, might not be hydrating your body the way you think? Worse yet, this simple mistake could be quietly pushing your blood pressure higher, without you even knowing it. That's the bold message from Dr. Carolyn Dean, author of the Magnesium Miracle and a pioneer in mineral-based wellness. According to Dr. Dean, true hydration isn't just about water. It's about water combined with the right minerals. And without this balance, your cells stay thirsty, your body retains sodium, and your blood pressure can creep upward over time. In this video, we'll explore the hidden link between hydration, electrolytes, and blood pressure, and why adding the right minerals to your water could be one of the simplest, most effective steps you can take to support your heart. If you're struggling with fatigue, muscle cramps, or rising blood pressure despite drinking plenty of water, this is a message you need to hear. Let's get started. We all know drinking water is essential to life. But what if we told you that simply drinking more water isn't always enough to stay truly hydrated? Even more surprising, this common misconception could be affecting your blood pressure in ways most doctors never mention. That's where Dr. Carolyn Dean, a longtime advocate for mineral-based wellness and author of the Magnesium Miracle, steps in with a bold perspective. Hydration is not just about water. It's about water combined with the right minerals, especially electrolytes like magnesium and potassium. And if you're constantly tired, dealing with muscle cramps, or watching your blood pressure creep up despite a healthy lifestyle, you might be missing this crucial piece of the puzzle. Here's something to consider. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC), nearly half of adults in the United States have high blood pressure, also known as hypertension. It's one of the most silent and deadly conditions, increasing the risk of heart disease, stroke, and kidney failure. And while most conversations about hypertension focus on sodium and medications, Dr. Dean argues that the real issue often starts at the cellular level, with how we hydrate and how well our cells absorb the water we drink. Think of your body like a sponge. Pour water on a dry sponge, and it may just sit there. Only with a bit of pressure will it absorb. Our cells work in a similar way. Without the proper balance of electrolytes, especially magnesium, water can flow right through us without fully hydrating our tissues. This leaves us in a strange state, what Dr. Dean calls chronic subclinical dehydration. You're drinking plenty, but your cells are still thirsty. But here's the part most people miss. When your body is dehydrated at the cellular level, it starts to retain sodium and water in an effort to hold on to fluids. This retention raises blood volume, which increases blood pressure. Meanwhile, key minerals like potassium and magnesium, natural relaxants that help your blood vessels dilate, are often missing from the equation. The result: tight vessels, increased resistance, and that creeping pressure you may feel in your temples or behind your eyes. Dr. Dean points to modern water purification systems as one reason why this happens. Most of us drink filtered, distilled, or reverse osmosis water that's been stripped of its natural minerals. Add to that the fact that many of us sweat more due to stress, medications, or even climate changes, and you've got a recipe for mineral depletion that no amount of plain water can fix. So yes, hydration is important. But what really matters is how you hydrate and what's in your water. In this video, we're going to explore the hydration habit Dr. Dean recommends that can help balance your electrolytes and support healthy blood pressure without relying solely on medications or crash diets. We'll dive into the roles of magnesium and potassium, the surprising ways your current water habits might be working against you, and how a simple tweak in your daily routine could make a world of difference. Because sometimes, the solution to a big health problem starts with something as simple as a glass of water done right. Let's take a closer look at something most of us have heard of but rarely understand deeply: electrolytes. You might think of them as something added to sports drinks or needed during workouts, but electrolytes are absolutely essential for life, and they do far more than just replace sweat losses. So, what exactly are electrolytes? Electrolytes are minerals in your body that carry an electric charge. They help regulate a wide range of vital functions, including nerve signals, muscle contractions, fluid balance, and even how your heart beats. The most important electrolytes for health include sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, chloride, and bicarbonate. Here's where things get interesting. We've been told for years to reduce sodium to control blood pressure. And while it's true that excessive sodium can raise blood pressure, especially when it comes from processed foods, that advice often leaves out a critical detail: balance is the key. Sodium works hand in hand with other electrolytes, especially potassium and magnesium. When those are lacking, cutting sodium alone may do little good and sometimes even more harm. Dr. Carolyn Dean explains that magnesium and potassium are often the forgotten electrolytes. Magnesium, in particular, is involved in over 800 enzymatic processes in the body, including the regulation of blood pressure. It helps relax blood vessels, support heart rhythm, and improve the absorption and retention of other minerals. Potassium, on the other hand, works inside the cells to counterbalance sodium, which stays outside the cells. When potassium levels drop too low, a condition known as hypokalemia, cells lose their ability to regulate fluid balance, which can lead to increased pressure on the cardiovascular system. The result? Fatigue, irregular heartbeat, and yes, higher blood pressure. But here's a critical point most people miss when you drink a lot of plain water. Especially if it's filtered or distilled, you dilute the electrolytes in your body. This can create a temporary imbalance, leaving you feeling more tired, more sluggish, and ironically, less hydrated. Think about the symptoms: dry mouth, fatigue, lightheadedness when standing, muscle cramps at night, or heart palpitations. Many of these are signs not just of dehydration, but of electrolyte deficiency. And yet, many people go on drinking glass after glass of water, thinking they're helping themselves, when in reality, they may be flushing out even more of the minerals their body desperately needs. This is why Dr. Dean strongly advocates for a smarter hydration habit. One that not only considers the quantity of water, but also its quality, and more importantly, what goes into it. She often recommends replenishing the body's mineral stores by adding small amounts of sea salt or mineral drops to water, and ensuring an adequate intake of magnesium and potassium through diet and supplementation. It's a small change that can have a big impact. Because when you restore proper electrolyte balance, you're not just quenching your thirst, you're giving your cells what they need to function, heal, and thrive. And that's the kind of hydration that truly protects your heart, calms your nervous system, and helps lower blood pressure over time. Coming up next, we'll explore the exact hydration habit Dr. Dean teaches, and how something as simple as adding minerals to your water could transform the way you feel every single day. Now that we understand the crucial role electrolytes play in true hydration, let's look at the practical habit. Dr. Carolyn Dean recommends a simple but powerful shift in how you hydrate that could help balance your electrolytes, improve your energy, and lower your blood pressure over time. Dr. Dean's hydration method is surprisingly straightforward. She suggests adding a small pinch of unrefined sea salt, about a quarter teaspoon, to every liter of purified water you drink. Not table salt, not heavily processed salt, but mineral-rich sea salt. The goal isn't to increase sodium alone, but to restore the spectrum of trace minerals that water is supposed to contain. This may sound counterintuitive at first. After all, we've been warned repeatedly to reduce our salt intake to avoid hypertension. But here's what most people don't realize. It's not salt in itself that's the problem. It's the kind of salt, and more importantly, the absence of other balancing minerals like potassium and magnesium. Unrefined sea salt, such as Celtic sea salt or Himalayan pink salt, contains dozens of trace minerals your body needs in small amounts. When added to filtered water, it mimics the natural composition of mineral-rich spring water, something our ancestors drank daily, but most of us rarely encounter today. Dr. Dean explains that our modern lifestyle compounds the problem. Many of us drink distilled, reverse osmosis, or heavily filtered water that's clean but empty. It lacks the essential minerals your body once relied on from natural water sources. Without those minerals, our internal balance suffers. Cells can't maintain proper hydration. Nerve signals become less efficient, and our bodies start to experience symptoms that feel unrelated, like fatigue, dizziness, or high blood pressure. But here's the part that makes this habit so empowering. When you add just a small amount of sea salt to your water, you're not only making that water more hydrating, you're helping your body retain and use it more efficiently. The sodium helps pull water into your cells, while the trace minerals support countless metabolic functions. This means less water retention in your ankles and belly, and more moisture where it matters in your tissues, muscles, and brain. For people struggling with blood pressure, this approach offers something new. Instead of focusing solely on restricting salt, restricting water, restricting food, Dr. Dean encourages replenishment. Give your body what it's missing, and it may begin to regulate itself more naturally. Many of her patients report increased energy, fewer headaches, clearer thinking, and even better sleep, all from adopting this mineral-based hydration habit. It's important to note this isn't a one-size-fits-all recommendation. People with advanced kidney disease or those on certain medications should always consult their doctor before changing their electrolyte intake. But for the average adult, especially those eating a whole foods diet low in processed salt, this practice could be a game changer. And here's an easy way to start in the morning, before your coffee or tea. Mix 1 quart of clean water with a pinch of sea salt and sip it slowly. Do the same once more in the afternoon. Within a few days, you might notice you feel more alert, less thirsty, and more in tune with your body's needs. Coming up next, we'll take a deeper look at the mineral Dr. Dean calls the miracle of modern medicine, magnesium, and why it may be the single most important nutrient for your heart and your hydration. Of all the minerals your body needs to stay balanced, energized, and calm, one stands out for its wide-reaching impact: magnesium. Dr. Carolyn Dean calls it the miracle of modern medicine, and for good reason. This one mineral is involved in more than 800 essential biochemical reactions in the body, yet it's also one of the most commonly deficient nutrients in adults today. Let's start with what magnesium actually does. Magnesium is a natural calcium blocker. It helps relax your muscles, calm your nerves, regulate your heartbeat, and most importantly, dilate your blood vessels. That means it plays a direct role in lowering blood pressure and supporting healthy circulation. When magnesium levels are low, the opposite happens. Blood vessels tighten, the heart has to work harder, and pressure rises. Unfortunately, modern life is almost perfectly designed to drain us of magnesium. Stress, caffeine, sugar, alcohol, and many medications all deplete magnesium from the body. Even our food is less magnesium-rich than it used to be, thanks to over-farmed soil and chemical fertilizers. And when we add in filtered water, which often lacks magnesium altogether, it's easy to see how deficiency becomes the norm rather than the exception. Here's the part that shocked researchers. In a large analysis published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, researchers found that people with higher magnesium intake had significantly lower risk of high blood pressure. Other studies suggest that magnesium supplementation may lower systolic and diastolic blood pressure, particularly in those who are already deficient. Dr. Dean emphasizes that magnesium doesn't just lower blood pressure, it balances it. It allows your body to respond more flexibly to physical and emotional stress. It supports restful sleep, reduces inflammation, and improves energy production at the cellular level. And unlike prescription medications, magnesium works with your body, not against it. So how do you know if you're low? The signs of magnesium deficiency are often subtle and easy to overlook. They include muscle cramps, tension headaches, restless legs at night, anxiety, fatigue, and irregular heartbeat. If you've ever felt wired but tired, there's a good chance your magnesium levels are running low. Dr. Dean recommends a two-pronged approach: dietary sources and supplementation. For diet, she suggests incorporating magnesium-rich foods such as leafy greens, avocados, almonds, pumpkin seeds, black beans, and dark chocolate. These foods not only deliver magnesium, but also provide fiber and healthy fats that further support cardiovascular health. But in many cases, diet alone isn't enough. That's where supplementation comes in. Dr. Dean is a strong proponent of magnesium chloride, a highly absorbable form of magnesium that's gentle on the digestive system. She often recommends liquid magnesium supplements that can be added directly to water, creating a kind of hydration cocktail that supports both mineral balance and cellular absorption. Her approach isn't about popping pills or chasing trends. It's about giving your body what it's been silently asking for, often for years. And when that magnesium gap is filled, people often notice profound changes: more energy, calmer moods, better digestion, fewer muscle twitches, and yes, steadier blood pressure. Next, we'll explore another crucial piece of this hydration puzzle: potassium. It's the mineral that works hand in hand with magnesium and may be the missing link in your body's ability to balance fluids and maintain calm. Healthy blood pressure, especially as you age. When we talk about heart health and hydration, magnesium usually gets a lot of attention, and rightly so. But there's another mineral quietly working behind the scenes, just as vital to your well-being: potassium. Potassium is often overshadowed by its louder electrolyte cousins, yet it plays an essential role in keeping your blood pressure stable, your muscles functioning, and your heart beating in perfect rhythm. And the truth is, most people are falling dangerously short on this mineral every day. Let's look at the numbers. According to the USDA, the recommended daily intake of potassium is about 4,700 milligrams. Yet the average adult in the United States consumes less than half that amount. That's a serious problem, especially for older adults and anyone managing high blood pressure. So why does potassium matter so much? Potassium is an intracellular mineral, meaning it primarily lives inside your cells. It helps pull water into the cells and maintain fluid balance, ensuring that your tissues stay hydrated and your nerves function smoothly. It also counteracts the effects of sodium, where sodium tends to hold water and increase pressure in the arteries. Potassium helps the body excrete excess sodium and relax blood vessel walls. The balance between potassium and sodium is crucial. When this ratio is off, too much sodium, not enough potassium, blood pressure can rise and stay elevated. And unfortunately, that's the situation most people are in today, especially with diets high in processed foods and low in fresh fruits and vegetables. But here's the surprising part. Studies have shown that increasing potassium intake can be just as effective, if not more so, than reducing sodium when it comes to lowering blood pressure. A large study in the journal Hypertension found that people who consumed more potassium-rich foods had significantly lower rates of cardiovascular disease. Dr. Carolyn Dean emphasizes the importance of this balance. She explains that you can't just cut out salt and expect your body to function better. You need to nourish it with the right minerals, and potassium is one of the most important. So, how do you get more potassium in your daily routine? The best way is through whole, unprocessed foods. Some of the richest sources of potassium include avocados, bananas, sweet potatoes, spinach and other leafy greens, beans and lentils, beets, coconut water, oranges and kiwis. These foods are not only potassium-packed, they're also loaded with antioxidants, fiber, and other nutrients that support your heart, kidneys, and nervous system. Dr. Dean also notes that potassium works best when paired with magnesium. They're like teammates. Magnesium helps keep potassium inside your cells, where it can do its job. That's why her hydration habit emphasizes both minerals, magnesium through supplementation or foods, and potassium primarily through diet. For people with special needs like those on diuretics, who lose potassium more quickly, careful monitoring and sometimes supplementation may be necessary. But for most of us, simply shifting toward a diet rich in natural, whole foods can help restore this critical balance. And here's something else to consider. When you combine potassium-rich foods with proper hydration and a bit of mineral support, like the sea salt in Dr. Dean's hydration method, you create the ideal internal environment for stable blood pressure, smooth muscle function, and lasting energy. Next, we'll wrap everything together and look at how this hydration-first, mineral-balanced approach can empower you to take control of your health starting today. By now, you've likely realized that hydration is far more than just a daily goal of 8 glasses of water. It's a finely tuned balance of fluids and minerals and internal harmony that can dramatically impact your energy, focus, muscle strength, and yes, even your blood pressure. What Dr. Carolyn Dean has revealed through her years of medical practice and research is something most people never hear from their doctors: that proper hydration begins at the cellular level. It's not just about how much water you drink, it's about how your body absorbs and uses it. We've explored how common hydration mistakes, like relying solely on purified water without replenishing minerals, can quietly drain the body. We've seen how low levels of magnesium and potassium don't just affect muscle cramps or energy, but can directly contribute to elevated blood pressure, poor circulation, and even irregular heartbeat. And most importantly, we've learned a simple, practical habit that can change everything, adding a pinch of mineral-rich sea salt to your water. Supporting that habit with magnesium-rich foods or supplements and a potassium-loaded diet gives your body the tools it needs to hydrate efficiently and regulate pressure naturally. This isn't a fad. It's not a quick fix or a magic pill. It's foundational biology meeting your body's deep and often unmet need for minerals that support every heartbeat, every nerve signal, every breath. Imagine starting your day with a glass of mineralized water that energizes instead of bloats. Eating a breakfast of avocado and leafy greens that feeds your cells rather than spikes your sugar. And going to bed without those restless legs or that racing mind because your body finally has what it needs to relax. It's a simple, elegant approach to wellness. And, best of all, it puts the power back in your hands. You don't have to wait for a prescription. You don't have to guess whether you're doing it right. You just start small, hydrate with intention. Eat for mineral balance. And listen to how your body responds. For seniors, adults with high blood pressure, or anyone seeking to feel more stable, more energetic, and more in control, this approach is not just helpful, it's life-changing. So, here's your next step. Take one day this week to try it. Start your morning with 1 liter of clean water and a 1/4 teaspoon of unrefined sea salt. Add in a magnesium-rich food during breakfast like spinach, pumpkin seeds, or even a little dark chocolate. Later in the day, enjoy a potassium-rich snack like a banana, a handful of beans, or a cup of coconut water. Then notice how you feel. You may discover fewer headaches, smoother digestion, calmer energy, and over time, perhaps even a steadier, more balanced blood pressure reading. Share this video with a loved one, especially someone who's struggling with fatigue, high blood pressure, or restless sleep. Sometimes, the simplest changes bring the greatest relief. And always remember, your body's incredibly wise. It's not just thirsty, it's asking for balance. When you respond with the minerals and hydration it needs, healing becomes not only possible, it becomes natural. Stay hydrated, stay informed, and stay empowered.